Comp 92.3, where Vegas rocks. It's Sylvia, and joining me today is Grammy Award nominated songwriter, vocalist, multi instrumentalist, producer. What else? What else am I missing?
That's crazy to hear you say it like that.
It kind of like I guess you see the bigger picture, right?
Yeah, no, it's so funny. That's like, wow, yeah, I was nominated for a Grammy. That's crazy.
I am a producer. Oh yeah, I do play a lot of instruments. Okay, well, anyway, Wolf Van Halen.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I noticed, I want to get this out of the way first. I noticed that WVH is gone from the name. You're
Yeah.
now just Mammoth. I was curious to know what led to that decision. Was it kind of like, okay, it's just, it's not me anymore?
No, it's what I've always wanted it to be. It's just we didn't have the trademark.
Oh, okay. That was it.
And so now that we do, we can finally be what I've always wanted to be.
Okay. So it wasn't just like some deep
Nah,
decision.
it's just this it's I mean, I always say Mammoth at the shows anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
now it's just official.
Yeah. Okay. It's a little bit easier to say now because it's like Mammoth and that's it.
Exactly. It's a mouthful. You don't need it.
Yeah. But in the beginning, you were kind of pulling a Dave Grohl,
Mm.
just playing everything, the guitars and the bass and the drums. Now that Mammoth's evolved into just, a band, because it's not just you anymore, is it a relief to just not have to do it at all, like alone anymore?
Well, no, I mean live, yeah, but in the studio, it's fun for me, so I still just record everything in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, it's just I feel like I only ever get to play drums anymore when I'm recording, so
Really?
it's not something I'm ready to like give up. I'm sure
Mhm.
maybe by like album 8 if I'm like, I don't want to play drums this time, I'd be like, "Hey Garrett, you play it this time." But
Yeah.
it's too much fun for me in the studio.
I do remember an interview where you did say, speaking of Dave Grohl, that you wanted to be him when you grew up. I think you were like 32 at the time when you were saying,
If I grow up,
yeah, whenever you decide to grow up,
yeah,
that's
whenever that
the
happens.
person. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that still a thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of, I just want to be able to be, I would just really like people to see me as my own
Of
thing,
course.
and
Yeah.
so I think that's another step forward with just being Mammoth. I think that's a great thing. It's another little bit of more identity rather than having my name plastered on it. So.
Sure. I feel like at this point you are your own person now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for 5 years at this point, 2 albums out, hopefully a third one soon.
Yeah.
So it's, I'd say we're deep in it. We've been touring, we've got over 300 shows now,
Hmm.
we're a thing.
Well, speaking of shows, you guys are going to be here, House of Blues, November 1st. Miles Kennedy is also on that bill, and
Absolutely crazy.
what a hell of a voice
Oh
that
yeah.
man has. How did you guys come together to do this tour?
We've been close buds for a while. I've been really good friends with the Alter Bridge guys. It's like one big happy family. And
Hmm.
Frank, one of my live guitar players, is one of the conspirators in
Hmm.
Slash Miles, and he lives in Vegas, by the way. So
He
shout
does.
out
I
to
know he does.
Frank. And yeah, so it's just kind of a big happy family, and it just seemed like we asked and he was into it, and now
Mhm.
we're doing it. So it's crazy.
Awesome. And the new single, "The End," it came out last month, I believe.
About a month ago.
It's a great song, especially with the intro, like the guitar intro.
Thank you.
It I read that you had this idea way before Mammoth. So is that just before you decided to do a band?
Yeah, it was just a random idea I had that felt like it was maybe a little too over the top, and it's kind of I can't even remember what the date was that I had it, but it was just like a random little voice memo on my phone,
Yeah.
and it just kind of sat there forever. And when I was going through ideas for this next recording period that I had, I brought it up, and I was like, maybe it would be worth trying to see if I can turn it into a song, and that's how it happened.
Yeah. How does it feel to just have, you've had it for what, 5 years
No,
or
no, I think it
longer?
was it was like 2012, 2013 when I wrote that initial idea.
Jeez.
So
So
it's
how does it feel to like actually get it out into the world? and
It's
not
pretty
voice them
cool.
anymore.
It's really cool to see, like, because I don't know, I never expected the song to do what it's been doing. It's been like the craziest, quickest added song or something that we've had yet, which is like really crazy to me. I can't kind of can't believe it. So yeah, I don't know. You don't really go into the recording process expecting anything, you
Mhm.
hope people dig it, but when it comes out and people do, it's like, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I want to talk about the music video. I love it. It's so much fun. And if you're a fan of horror and you're a fan of Michael Jackson's Thriller, I think you're gonna absolutely appreciate this music video. Um, Robert Rodriguez directed this.
Yeah.
Who called who on that?
We hit it off a couple years back. He came to a show in Austin, to my surprise, being a fan of the music, which was crazy to hear. And I just met him backstage and after the show, and we talked and hung out, and we ended up just kind of staying in touch. And it was always just, because he's, a big fan of his. From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favorite movies of
Mhm.
his, and I just kind of was like, man, if I ever, you're just in the back of your mind, like, what if we ever did like a music video? That'd be cool. And you just kind of
Mhm.
have that idea. And when I had, the song ready, I sent it over. I'd be like, hey, would you be, into maybe doing a video for this?
Mhm.
And when he showed immediate interest, I was like, okay, well, I've this idea, and then he ended up literally like it's really funny the amount of talent used for such a silly music video for a
It's
song.
so great.
And he wrote like a whole like script, like a five-page script, blocking everything out, and it felt so legitimate. It was really, really, really funny. And then, he called uh, Greg Nicotero, the makeup legend, and he called Danny Trejo, and it just kind of snowballed into this insane 2-day shoot that was just so much fun.
Yeah. What was it like working with Danny Trejo?
Oh, dude, it's so like to be able to say that I acted with Danny Trejo staring at me like he hated me was
Yeah.
it's a life goal for sure. It's very, very crazy to just stand there because Garrett and I were, my drummer, we're standing there just kind of trying to keep a straight face while Danny Trejo looked like he wanted to kill us, which was
Yeah.
super like life goal for sure.
Intimidating, right? I
Yeah,
imagine.
incredible. But
Even
he's also
back,
the sweetest dude in the world, so it's very cool.
yeah. And there's so many cameos, like you said, Danny Trejo, Miles Kennedy was in there. He became a zombie at one point. Your mom, Valerie Bertinelli, Slash, who was probably my favorite only because he just looked so unfazed when everything
He's
was just,
invincible. He's
yeah.
invincible. Yeah. So he just is just kind of witnessing everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's up to his alley because he's such a horror fan too.
Yeah.
Was it tough trying to get everyone on board on like the same day, like schedule wise?
Yeah. I mean, I even there's even some personal cameos, like my wife is in it, and a couple of my friends from that I've had since school, like
Mhm.
forever, were there, and I called them and be like, hey, I know this is the middle of the week, but if you can make it, I'd love to have you be eaten by a zombie in my video. And so yeah, it was just it was a crazy thing to whip up and get everybody in the same place at one time. Definitely our most insane shoot we've ever had.
Yeah.
Gordy, the dude who directed all our other music videos, was there as the DP because Robert really enjoyed the other previous videos. So it was just like a big happy family moment making just an insane video.
I feel like the music video, like the art of the music video, like it doesn't really exist. I might be wrong on that, but I don't see a lot of music videos that are as fun as the ones that you've done.
Yeah, I feel
You
like it's
know?
like a lost art now. Not a lot of people I don't know, focus on videos too much. Maybe at least in the rock space, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a thing we're passionate about and just kind of not taking ourselves too seriously.
No, it comes off great. So the song "The End," is it part of an upcoming album? I know you mentioned it briefly in the beginning.
It could be. I think I think if people were to pay attention to our socials within the next couple weeks, I think you might be pleasantly surprised at the thought of more music.
Oh, okay. Because my next question was like, is it done? Are you in the middle of working on it? Like,
Well, if I were, I wouldn't have much more time because, I'll be leaving in about 10, 2 weeks
Yeah,
the tour. So hopefully, if there is something, I would hope it's done.
got it. Okay. So we'll put your socials on this video so people can keep up to date with everything. How do you feel, if you're working on this album and it's coming up, how do you feel you've grown as a musician from, the first album to where you're at right now?
It's funny. The first album, I was really just trying to figure out like what is it? What am I as my own artist? Outside of my name and
Mhm.
playing everything. Is it going to sound cohesive enough? The first album was like, can I do it?
Yeah.
And the second album was like, okay, I can do it. How can I shape this for a live show now that we've toured. But then, this time when I was recording the end and maybe some other stuff, it was more of trying to challenge myself. And I feel like a lot of the time I was almost uncomfortable when I was doing it. I feel like that was a good thing because it meant I was doing something that I wouldn't normally do.
Hmm.
So I was kind of challenging myself, and it felt good. Music, it's always a recording process, and writing is always a really therapeutic thing for me. So it's
Hmm.
uh, always something to mark an evolutionary stage of your life. So
Yeah.
I'm excited with how the end certainly turned out and
I
what may be coming.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing at all. You're just staying stuck to, what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it's a weird line that you have to walk because obviously you don't want to abandon the people who like the music you have
Mhm.
already. So it's about trying to find where you can fit that growth, but also keep people coming back to what they expect. So
Absolutely. Well, Wolf, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me again. Mammoth will be at House of Blues with Miles Kennedy November 1st, and you can hear the end right here on Comedy 2.3. And again, I remember, years ago you would reply to trolls and you call them grape, I think, and it's still one of the best insults
yeah, that did a
ever.
number for us for the promo of Mammoth 2 because that was
Yeah.
when I think the first track came out and people really liked that.
Yeah, it was I stole it. Just so that you know. I
Good, good.
stole
I
it.
love it. I love it.
All right, man. Again, November 1st, House of Blues. We will see you then, my friend.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much.